Okay, so we have started the long, slow, agonizing process of bodywork on Jezebel. It's not going to be terribly fantastic. It's going to be more or less like what we done to my daughter's Fiesta. I have already started removing the chrome down the side. Didn't do it the right way. I used a paint scraper. And I got all the chrome off with a bust in it. However, I'm not putting it back on. The clips are toast, of course. And this foolish stuff that was here, this plastic, I can't stand that. Anyway, that's off. Part of the reason I'm not putting it on is you can see the rust all along where those clips are. Granted, the car's full of rust, I realize that. There, all along here. It was beautiful stuff, we really like it. But wherever that stuff is, it creates more rust. Especially here in the East Coast where we use salt and sand and stuff on the roads in the winter. That salt and that sand gets all in there, all in behind the chrome. Chrome will rub on these spots around these clips, eventually down to bare metal and start to rust. That's why I hate that stuff. Granted, it's beautiful when it's brand new. I haven't been doing too much lately. I just started so far. All I have is pits. I don't have any real holes. So that's good. I'm going to try and hit them with my tiny media blaster and hope I can just fiberglass and fill them. Do have to patch this spot right here on the doorpost. And the bottom of the door down here. Let's put a bit of skin down there or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just a door bottom, unless I can find a good door. There's also a spot back here under this trim. Oop, that's where we did come off. And a spot right there needs to be addressed. As far as the body, that's it. There's a little bit underneath, a couple spots of the frame to patch, so, we'll see what happens. I am very, very tempted to strip all the chrome off, roof racks included, and paint it all gloss or satin black. Just leave my front and rear bumpers, tail lights, and grill surrounds. Or maybe even paint all of them black too. If I'll get a nice set of chrome wheels and do like one of those 80s monochromatic paint jobs, it wouldn't be too bad. There's that hole there exposed. Both of them. Not as bad as I thought. Bad enough. We have to fix it though. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm pretty sure. So this wheel arch trim is probably one of the few things I will put back on. I know I'll probably do a little bit of mixture of some chrome and some not. I do like these though. They seem to be in decent shape, so we'll probably save them. I don't know about the tin down here, as pretty as it is. It's one more thing that holds rust. All this back here would not have happened if it wasn't for that. At least not as quick. It's looking out. We might be drilling some of these out. Yep, we'll be drilling that out. Sure. Okay. Most of the chrome trim is off the wagon. Everything that I can get off is off anyway. That needs to come off for now. This particular piece of molding here, I couldn't get that off. Couldn't get the window drop low enough. And as it started to tear things apart, it started to break things. So I thought, well, it's time to stop that. We'll just mask that off. These, I'm told, are quite a job to get off. So we're just going to either paint them or put vinyl on them or something to cover them up. The roof racks, I'm going to leave on until we go to actually tackle the roof. I still am undecided whether I want them on at all. But my little girl seems to want me to keep them on, so we may. And they got two good working mirrors. This one's gray. And this one's blue. Perfect. Anyway, they'll all in body color, so they'll all match, not look too bad. And we got this back door fixed so it opens from outside. Perfect. That's a win in itself. So, all our chrome is stored in our handy dandy storage unit here. Some of it will be going back on, but very little. This piece here is pretty well perfect. You know, maybe I can straighten it, I doubt it. So, those lower pieces, like on this back door, are going to have to go back on, simply because they have the cat whiskers in them for the door, for the windows. So, yeah, they got to go on. And as you can see, everything I removed, there was rust under it. And they had some of this friggin' trim glued on with silicone. That's why that one piece over there is twisted so bad we couldn't get it off very well. Again, silicone around all along there around the window, which was not needed. The clips are still there and they're actually in decent condition. Didn't take that off yet, but we'll get her. And over here, same story. But you can see the rust went all up into under the window, so somehow I have to get that without taking the window out. Anyway, now it's time to peel off this matte tack wood grain or vinyl or whatever it is. Alright, so taking this off, this wood grain, matte tack, vinyl. It's basically vinyl is what it is. I used to work for a vinyl shop, and I used to detail. You heard me say thousands of times, I detailed for almost 30 years. So the proper way to remove this on a car that you care about is a heat gun and a plastic scraper. I don't have a plastic one. I got this old metal fella I've been using for everything else. And because we're painting anyway, I'm not terribly worried about how much I damage or scratch the paint. However, as I said, if you're doing this on a nice car, new car with good paint, just removing the duct we didn't want, plastic scraper, heat gun. More heat the better, but try not to boil the paint. Now, any paint that's not damaged, I am just going to scuff and treat it as primer. Anyway, I'll try and do as much as I can with the heat gun, and we'll see what happens. If I can start it without the scraper, I will. There, that comes out pretty nice and soft. Not too bad. That's actually pretty nice paint out of it. This might go all right. Have those bezels off to get the rest of it. Get them eventually. No, not completely ripped. There's some rust spots. There's some rust spots. So I thought everybody should see this. As I'm going along and peeling this vinyl off, I'm finding spots right, presumably right from the factory, where there's nothing but fill. Right, that was under the mat or the wood grain or matte tack, whatever you want to call it. And I think they turned into spots like this, possibly, or that's just PEI winters. I'm not 100% sure. So now I don't know if that is literally from the factory, or this car had this vinyl put on another time, and they just smoothed it out the best they could for to put the vinyl on. A little depressing to know that that's what's under your wood grain. Alright, so we got one side of the wood grain stripped. Things always get worse before they get better, of course. Started on the tailgate. That's as far as we got on that. I actually kind of really love how junky this thing looks right now. It's so shitty, it's almost beautiful. I think I'll call it shit hay, a new word, shit hay. Alright, so it's been probably 2, maybe 3 weeks since I started peeling the vinyl off the wagon and taking the chrome off because it needs a body job. Just discovered this morning when I moved it, I got an antifreeze leak, so that's going to have to be addressed, along with some other things, some regular maintenance it needs. We got the holes fixed up in the frame that were there. I have an oil leak, possibly my remain seal, and I see I got a pinion leak. Anyway, all that comes with driving old cars. You know, you got to be on your toes. So I got to continue with this body job regardless right now, because we just have to get all this mess to go away. And even if it's just, you know, tractor paint for a year or two, just to hold the wolves off until the Hudson can take over being my daily driver. Hopefully that's only a year or two. We don't know. And I'm not trying to do anything extraordinary here. I just like old cars. I'd rather have old cars. You know, the car's 40 years old, never been restored. It's doing pretty well, all things considered. You know, we're low income around here, so what's the alternative for me? Making a payment of $800 or $900 a month for some foolish computer-laden piece of junk that ain't going to last more than 5 years, maybe 10 tops. And in the last 5 of those 10 years, you'll have repair bills every month of $300 and $400 and $500. So that is not for me. Anyway, I'm going to continue pulling all this mess of wood grain off here and find my welder, patch up some holes, get out some fiberglass. It ain't going to be great, but it'll keep the wolves away for another couple of years, I hope. And then I guess I better see what I need to do with those leaks. Got a heat gun, razor blades, and a scraper. And we're just heating this and taking off little bits at a time. And it is only coming off little bits at a time, except for down low where it's darker. I've been able to get it to come off in bigger chunks, which reminds me I should put a piece of plastic down there. I'm not going to film absolutely all of this because it's very time consuming. As I said, it's been a few weeks since I started. I stopped for a couple weeks just because life and things that had to be done. Nothing major, of course, just regular surviving and working like everybody else. This is all extracurricular, more or less, so there's not a huge amount of time for it, even though it has to be done. And getting kids where they need to go, so yeah. I'll film bits and pieces of it just to get the idea. Overall, it's coming off not too bad. It hasn't taken any paint off other than stuff that has rust under it, like that. There will be door bottoms to be replaced too. Anyway, we'll go from there. Get it to just the right temperature. It won't break quite so easy. I don't think I'm there yet. But there's many pieces. I started doing the front fender on the other side. Vinyl will come off in fairly big chunks, so I got a bit of a false sense of security. Oh, this is going to go all right. Well, no. And if this car was probably 8 or 9 years newer, vinyl wasn't still baked on so bad, it would be quite a bit easier. Besides the dry, the other side of the door a bit. It seems to be making better progress. Pieces are coming off a little bigger. This makes it a little quicker, of course. Well, some of these are bigger. Actually, did work with vinyl a fair bit in the past. You may or may not have heard me say that I graduated as a graphic designer. Part of that was vinyl lettering and some pinstriping and design work for logos and stuff, of course. But like many things you go to school for, when you get out, there's not much work in it. Or, at that point in time, serving coffee paid more money, which was more or less my case. So I never really did put much into it. But, that being said, I had done a lot of work with vinyl, and I actually a couple of days ago priced a vinyl wrap for this. And they haven't gotten back to me on it yet, but I do feel it's something I might be able to do. Might being the operative word there. I'll certainly try anything. You can't do everything. Oh, that's warm. It's a difficult balance, getting the right temperature between the ripping and being soft enough to keep pulling the rest of the vinyl off. Only because it's so old and cracked. I know a lot of people that are old and cracked too. Includes myself. Anyway, this is going to be much the same thing for probably most of the day, so I will not film it all. I'll try and film bits and pieces here and there. And we will carry on. One more door cleaned off. 3 more panels to go. This thing's looking worse and worse. The more I do, the more vinyl I take off it. Oh well, we'll carry on. Quite a difference in the color from here, where the vinyl was covering the paint, to here. I hate brown to begin with, but it actually wasn't too bad of a color. And the more I look at it, the more I think it was definitely painted at least once. Maybe more. Some parts come off so nice. Then you get to where that vinyl is cracked and it doesn't want to take off at all. I wonder if it had been wax, maybe that would have kept the vinyl a little better. Mind you, it's just 40-year-old plastic. It's going to dry out. Some spots were so not too bad. It'll be okay. I see evidence of undercoating there. You can see how much good undercoating really does. Not too much. Don't waste your money, folks. One more down. We're getting there. Every time I take some vinyl off, I find another piece, another spot. I mean, I guess overall it's not terrible for the age of it. So just this back fender. And the rest of the tailgate. We'll have all the vinyl stripped off. I'll have to take my thrush sticker off too, I guess. I'll have to find that again. The rear passenger door actually went quite quick. I don't think it took me much more than 25 minutes. The front door, the driver's door, though, I was at that for 2.5 hours. So, again, it all depends on how good or bad the vinyl is. So the back door is all that's left now. I can't believe the difference that makes. Get this door peeled off, finished. It's finally starting to get that nice plain look that I'm after. So can't decide on a color. I'm pretty sure it's going to go black, but anything can happen. Alright, so that's the last panel. It's not been fun. And to be able to stand it straight, it probably would take me 2.5 weeks with all the vinyl on. I hit the front door on the passenger side. It fought me like crazy. Matter of fact, the whole passenger side was bad. Again, the vinyl was cracked so bad. And this back door is not going to be a treat either. All kinds of tiny little cracks in the vinyl. Anyway, we'll see how she goes. I'm sitting back here looking at this and missing some rear fillers and stuff around the bumper, which I mentioned before. Thinking about maybe trying to build a roll pan back here. Maybe just find one and cut it up, make it fit. Not that we need to go that far. Alright, there she is. All the vinyl is off. Quite a difference. And the girls took the roof racks off, which is what I wanted to do anyway. Quite a difference in how she looks now and from when they picked her up. Now, on to filling holes and fiberglass. I really love how plain she's going to look. So can't decide if she's going gloss black or flat black or something else. So that's going to be it for that one. Yeah, it was a big job just getting the vinyl and the chrome off, especially when I was not able to stay at it like I'd like to be able to with other things going on, like the rest of us. I'm busy. I say it all the time. I know that. We're all busy. Life happens. So vinyl's off. Most of the chrome's off as best as it can be. And now I have to start welding and filling holes. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I would love to be painting this thing in a few days, but we'll see what happens. Thanks all for watching, and have a good one.